Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 27th, 2020. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
This week we're talking about men's self-care and parenting older kids, plus taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we're talking about our usually internal discussions about other families. I've been noticing this about myself lately, and it's when you're out and about and you see another family that you don't know in the wild, do you start trying to figure them out? We have, in church, we often see this young family and various extended family members. There's like 3 or 4 little kids, and there's 3 or 4 mom and dad aged people and a couple of grandparent aged people. And I find myself being distracted in mass, figuring out which little kid belongs to who. Are there 2 sets of parents, or is it parents and an aunt and an uncle? How does this, I try to see who holds who and how they look. And, it's none of my business and who cares. They're adorable, and I'm very happy that they're all there together at mass. The kids are pretty well behaved and stuff. But it's sort of fascinating to try to guess what the deal is. We went to I've talked here before that we went to a resort in the Catskills for Christmas, and everybody there was there for a week. So you saw the same people over and over again. We played bingo, we played this dice game. Every day we would go, and every day the same people would be there around the table with us. And there was like there was a blended family. I'm pretty sure like there was 2 kids that belonged to the dad and 2 kids that belonged to the mom, but then there were also various aunts and uncles with their own kids. They all seemed to be sort of the same party, and so there was a lot of figuring out there too. At one point, this sassy little 11-year-old girl helpfully said of the lady sitting next to her, "She's not my mom, she's my stepmom," and I, kind of wanted to smack her and give the lady a hug. So that made me, oh, okay, well, in that case, which of these kids, kind of nebulously around this couple,
right,
belong to which parent? And I, got the impression that maybe I was being wishful for the guy, that maybe he doesn't have custody of that girl, just gets her at Christmas, and then she goes back to her mom who's got an attitude. But do you guys do this too? Do you find yourself writing stories around the people that you see and trying to figure them out? And then do you ever worry that people are doing the same to you? We went to this same resort one year with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their kids, and I bet there were people looking at all of us and trying to figure us out too, which is a little scary.
Right.
So I guess we're just going to talk about whether we talk about strangers in nosy ways.
Yeah, I definitely get nosy about that kind of stuff, for sure. Whether it's in an airport or a restaurant or, many, many years ago when I lived in France, I lived with a family, right? And it was a Vietnamese mom and a French dad and a biracial daughter, right?
Uh-huh.
So one would assume that the daughter was the daughter of these 2 parents that were living in the house.
Uh-huh.
No, actually, she was the daughter of the husband's first Vietnamese wife.
Oh my gosh.
Not his current Vietnamese wife. And it took me a really long time to figure that out. And then also there were grandchildren, there were pictures in the house of these little blonde kids. And I was told that those were Kim's grandchildren. And I was like, how? What? Okay. And then it turned out that they were her grandchildren from her first marriage, the kids that she had from her first marriage. But yeah, it took me months to figure that out.
How fun.
And I was living in it,
And you don't want to just come right out and ask, please, everybody, identify yourselves and what your permutation of family is. But you just have to collect little nuggets of evidence.
In a foreign language also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super nosy and it's none of my business, any of it. But yeah, I think it's natural to just be curious about other people and what their deal is,
Yeah. I would have said this is a thing that women do and men don't do, except, my husband would never talk to me about it necessarily, but I would say, I've been looking at this family and I think this person is this person's brother or sister and this, and he goes, no, I think it's this way. So he was obviously doing it the same way too. You just can't help thinking about it and wondering, do you do that too, Nicole, or are we just bad people?
Yeah, no. I do that all the time. Like I was in a waiting room this morning to see my doctor. And of course, waiting rooms are amazing for people watching and coming up with stories. And
it's so fun.
Because, you can, like, it's not like a restaurant where you have to turn your head around constantly just to check people out, right? It's like, you can just like inconspicuously peer up from your phone and survey the room and see who's out there. So, this morning wasn't that interesting though. There was an elderly couple and 3 students and a man on his own. Although I wondered what he was doing there. I wondered if his wife had made the appointment for him. Because typically...
see our episode later this
in the week.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious as to what he was doing there. Maybe he was there to get his colonoscopy requisition like I was. Because I'm turning 50,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah. So waiting rooms are a big thing. Obviously airports. I find that I, like watching people there. And but my husband and I never, ever are able to coordinate our stories. He's so off. I'm like, how did you get that? It doesn't even make sense.
And we have now, my daughter was doing it too. So it's like fun for the whole family. My son doesn't seem to care, but she was also, making her own deductions and we were comparing notes. So.
See, that's a fun family
There you
game.
go. Gossiping about other people.
Yeah. I could definitely, like my daughter and I would definitely do that. My husband might do it a little bit. My son would not be paying attention.
It's just especially if you're seeing the same people over and over, like when you were living in somebody's house and you can, although, we've done it just my daughter and I just when we're in a waiting room and we notice things going on and we compare notes afterwards. What did you think of that person? Did that person do this? So.
Well, and it's almost like back in the day of mommy blogs and personal blogs, like there were people that I was, following or reading about. And if they start blogging, it's like, but what happened?
Yeah.
Like, but I need to know. And I don't know your real name, so I can't stalk you on Facebook. Like, this stinks.
That's not fair. Yeah. You get invested in people's kids and in the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
I would, if Ellen Seidman ever stops blogging and I don't get to see what's going on with Max as he grows up or continues growing up, I'll be very put out.
I know. Yeah. That's a common one.
I think it's sort of why, like, remember when a wedding story and a baby story were a thing on TLC?
Yeah.
It was the same kind of deal. It was a little bit like reality TV, but not really. And you could just, satisfy your curiosity about random people. Yeah. Although then it would be like, that's it. You get the 30 minutes or whatever, and then the show's over. So
right.
That fell just during my son's nap time. And I used to sit there and I would get so mad. Like a baby story, I watched it every day. I'd be like, you have no idea. You have no idea what's coming. I used to get angry at the TV and angry at the people.
Maybe it's all this reality television stuff that's made us start looking for it just in the natural world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To be curious about strangers' lives.
Right. That could be.
I do wonder what they make of us. Were they spinning stories about us too?
They've got to be.
Yeah. I'm sure they were.
People always come up to us and say how much our kids resemble us. It's like, ha! You have no idea.
You're wrong.
You have the entirely wrong show playing in your head. If only you knew.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. There's just so many interesting family units out there these days and so many different ways of being a family
that's true also.
Or being a group, right? That
right.
It's just not that typical scenario that we're
Well, yeah, there just sort of isn't one.
No, not anymore. Yes. So that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, opens up a lot of territory for speculation.
It does. Inquiring minds want to know.
That's right.
So,
well, if you want to know about our families and our lives, you have to keep listening to our podcast, and you have years of back catalog that you can go back to and
piece it all together.
Really dig in. But that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.